Okay, so a story that my family and I tell. There's a computer right here for the people watching this. I'm communicating to you through another person's human body right now.
You're haunting me.
I've got a story.
Okay.
Okay, so my dad and I like to tell this story a lot, but it really depends on the audience, so hopefully this is an appropriate audience. This is the story on how I was the reason that my dad had to sell his car. One time when I was like 3 years old, I'm realizing I talk a lot with my hands. I was 3 years old, and I was still in diapers, and my dad was taking me to a garage sale. And I was 3, so I don't know why, but he didn't want me to go in. He just told me to stay in the car while he ran in and talked to his friend. And I guess while he was talking to his friend inside, he was gonna come right back. It wasn't a big deal. But I was a comedian since day one, and I thought it'd be super funny if while he was gone, I would, climb up in the driver's seat and pretend to be driving his car, and when he'd come back, he'd see me, and we'd have such a laugh. Because I'm 3, I can't drive. And I climbed into the front seat, and I was like, ooh, got my hands on the wheel, and at that moment, I realized I really had to poop. And luckily, I had diapers. So,
oh my gosh.
So I remember just being like, awesome, good thing I'm 3 and I'm wearing a diaper, so I can just poop right here.
Oh no.
And I remember thinking, people tell you can't remember things, but I think that when it's significant stories, no matter how young you were, I remember it perfectly. And I just remember thinking I got a lot of poop. And I was just thinking this is gonna overflow the diaper. But I was just like, oh well, I gotta let it out. So I did. And then I was just pretending to drive the car, and my dad comes walking in, and I remember looking through the windshield, and he sees me, and he's like, oh ha ha ha, there's my daughter, she can't drive. And I'm like, I know, I'm so funny. And he opens the door, and he puts me back on my car seat in the back, and before he sits down, he realizes that there is poop all over his front seat. And then he looks back in the car seat, and he realizes that there's also poop all over the car seat. So then he has to take me outside of the car, takes off my diaper in his friend's driveway. His friend probably was like, what is he doing? And then he asked his friend if he could use his hose. And then he got the garden hose and hosed me off. Because
classic Southern way.
it was a mess. And yeah, I just remember it so well. And I guess, it was all embarrassing, but I guess the smell was so bad they couldn't get rid of it, so they just had to sell the car. And that's the story on how my dad lost his car.
I love it.
Thank you.
I'm probably gonna do that one.
I'm sure. Well, there's more.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a story about something that had to be overcome. I'm looking at the computer when I look to the left. For those of you who aren't here right now. Okay, so in my opinion, this is something I overcame because I really want to be a performer, but I'm 50-50 on extrovert, introvert. Sometimes I'll feel really extroverted and super comfortable in front of a crowd, and other times not at all. So this is kind of how I overcame my stage fright even more. I've had to, every time I go and perform anywhere, I have to overcome stage fright, but this really just completely got me out of my comfort zone. I overcame humility. I wouldn't say overcame it, but it sure did help. Basically, I was at this party, and let's just say I was intoxicated, and I was talking to this chick, and she was just telling me about how she was in this play called The Vagina Monologues, and I've heard of The Vagina Monologues. The filmmaker just said she likes it. And I said, your name's Elizabeth, right?
No, it's Brittany.
Oh my god, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I pretty much respond to anything, so it's fine.
Man. Oh, okay, cool.
I might do this one.
Brittany. Well, Anyway, I was talking to the girl, and her name was not Brittany or Elizabeth, and she was telling me about how she was part of the Vagina Monologues. The whole reason why I mentioned Brittany as Elizabeth is because she just said she knows what the Vagina Monologues are. I want everyone to be on the same page as me and Brittany right now. So me and Brittany both know the Vagina Monologues. It's really cool. I've heard about it being really empowering and awesome, and I was like, cool, I like to do theater, that'd be like really interesting. And then she starts talking about how in the Vagina Monologues, she is the captain of the Cunt Cheer Squad. And I'm like, what's the Cunt Cheer Squad? And she's like, oh, it's we all dress up as parts of the vagina and then we cheer for pussy. And drunk me was like, that sounds awesome. I am so down for that. Sign me up. So I gave her my number, and then I just completely forgot that I even interacted with her at all. And then the next day, I was just flooded with texts of all these informations about like times and rehearsals and like where I needed to go. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm in this thing now. And I've never done cheerleading, never been a cheerleader. Like, this is like crazy. Like, I signed up to be a cunt cheerleader. And when I went to rehearsal, we were assigning parts of the body, well, just one, the vagina. We were assigning parts of it, and like, because each of us gets to be a part. And like, we all know what the best part of the vagina is. It's the clitoris.
Yeah.
And basically, the girl who told me about all this gave me the wrong time. So it was the right date. So I like showed up at the right place just like an hour and a half early, and it was just somebody's house. So I was just like, is this even the right place? And they were like, yeah, I guess. Like, you're really early. So it was really awkward. So she felt so bad about that when we were assigning parts of the vagina, I got the clitoris.
Nice.
So, as happy as I was about that, I realized then that I had to get up in front of an audience multiple times dressed as a gigantic clitoris and cheer about it. And yeah, honestly, that's one of the most humiliating but empowering at the same time. Like I don't know. I did something I never thought I could do, and I overcame my stage fright, and I cheered for pussy that night.
Cheer for pussy.
Catch me next semester in Vagina Monologues. I'm gonna be the cheer captain.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I overcame a lot.
Yeah, for real.
The end of that story. Okay, and then this is the story about what I did the day after the last presidential election. I can't really remember exactly what I did the day after, but I remember the night of and the morning after very, very well, because I'm friends with a lot of, how you say, liberals.
Como se dice liberals?
Yeah. And I know how to say liberals. And everyone I was around, like, was just really confident. Like, for months, we would talk about the presidential election, and it was just no question Hillary was going to win. Like, it wasn't even a shred of doubt in anyone's minds. Now, you guys all know how it ended up, so
yeah.
I can imagine the disappointment. But, so, basically, I just, like, I didn't really, I'm not that political, obviously. Well, I don't want to reveal all, I'm not a fan, okay?
It's good enough.
Not a fan of the current president. I wasn't in love with Hillary either. I just like, listen, I'm Jewish and I smoke weed. Bernie all the way. Anyway. But it was between Hillary and Trump.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Well, I didn't vote, so that was I didn't get registered in Denton. So anyway, that was all that. But anyway, I was just really convinced that Hillary was gonna win. Everyone around me was like, yeah, it's gonna be Hillary. And I was like, okay, it's gonna be Hillary. And like the night of the election, what I was doing was smoking weed, and I was with my friend and then this other guy in our dorm, and this guy, very, very flamboyant and very, very Democrat, very, very confident that Hillary was going to win. So confident we didn't even watch the election. We went to a hill to smoke, and we were just like, when we wake up tomorrow, it's all going to be great. And I just remember, like, throughout the entire night, like, he was checking his phone, and he was just like, oh, at the beginning of the night, he was so pro-Hillary, and he was like, today's gonna be great, it's gonna be awesome. And then he kept updating us on the election. He'd be like, yep, Hillary's up by like this many %, like, obviously right on track. And then like hours would pass, and like, I remember just while we were on the hill that night, like, secluded, like, it was just me, him, and my friend smoking in nature. I remember he looked at his phone, he was like, oh my god. And that's when he was like, okay, Trump's starting to lead. It's probably a fluke. Things are gonna like fix themselves, obviously. And it just went downhill from there, literally, when we were on this hill. And yeah, it ended with him just being like, oh my god, I can't believe this. And it was really hard. Like I was just as upset as the next person, but like being with this guy on the night of the election, oh my god, it was just tragic. And so then the next morning, I lived in the dorm, so I had a roommate and then 2 suite mates. And my roommate and one of my suite mates were both Republicans, so they voted for Trump. And then my other suite mate was Democrat. So she comes into my room at like 7 in the morning because she just got a call from her family member who is Hispanic, just crying to her, being like, I don't know if I'll get to see you again after this. And so then she comes into my room crying about it, and then her roommate comes in and my roommate wakes up, and basically me and her are talking about how sad we are, and our roommates are basically telling us to man up and like get over it. And like they were just like, God, what's the big deal? Like we wouldn't be doing this if Hillary won. And like we're just like, it's not, I don't know, just no ounce of respect for our emotions at all in these people. Yeah, and then I just remember going to class and just feeling really solemn and just kind of like the air was just different, like walking around. Yeah, I don't remember my classes. I just remember my stupid roommates. Anyway, that's it.
Yay!